All right, we got everything fixed. All right. All right, we back. We got everything working now. We're good. I wanted to do a little pre-show before I actually start the show. Um, because I wanted to address a few things that I see going on in the bowling area. A couple of people posted flyers. Um, and it's just it be sometimes it be the wrong people, and it is unfair. And I see why people don't want to do things, especially in the Georgia area. And it's because people don't know how to chill. Like everything ain't for everybody. Like we clearly know that everything ain't for everybody. So when you see people that's on the outside, when you see people from the outside trying to promote things and trying to start something in their own circle, people get misconstrued. People get misconstrued about what's going on. Can you not? Can y'all not hear me? Somebody just texted me and said we can see you. I hope you can. Let me see. Not sure what something means by that. Um, okay, cool. But um let me post it so y'all know what we talking about. So Hitman Holla posted a flyer. He wants to do a celebrity bowling tournament. And a couple of people decided to kind of make jokes about it, but I'm keeping this camera angle forward because this is the pre-show. So a lot of people wanted to make jokes about it, and it's like everything isn't a joke when people like yes, Hitman Holla, he bowls league. Yes, he has become a bowler. So his goal is trying to get more celebrities and more of his friends into bowling, and introduce them to that style of bowling. So he is trying to start something where he is actually putting money or having them put money into this tournament. So when people start to, you know, like don't get me wrong, like it is the money a little high? Yes, but everything ain't for us. Everything ain't for you. For those of you that don't know what tournament I'm talking about, and I'm still setting up. That's why I'm saying this is just the pre-show because I'm still setting up. But I really wanted to address this. But this is the flyer that I'm speaking of, and I'm sure a lot of people in the bowling world have seen this. and they are, um, been talking. But like I said, everything ain't for you. This isn't your ordinary bowling tournament. It is an experience that is happening with this. A lot of people that is going to be in this room, you probably will never meet in your life, or have a chance to meet. And he's bringing that into this. So I just don't get what the hate is for everything. Like bowlers, we don't always have to be negative about something. That's the crazy part. And I think we are always fucking negative, and I just don't get why. If you don't want to participate in something, don't participate in it. If you don't like something, then you don't like it. Now, I'm not talking about, certain things. Some people, yeah, some things do need to be called out. Some things do need to be said. But this is clearly not for your average bowler. I'm sorry, your average tournament bowler. He has strict rules where he's not allowing certain averages. That's why there's a cap, because it's going to be him and his homeboys bowling, and he don't want nobody coming there and just running away with it, which is understandable because that is not the goal of this tournament. So to say you're trolling, you sound like a hater. There's no other explanation for that. And before it gets out of hand, I wanted to address this because I like what he's doing. He's trying to bring more people, more eyes onto our sport. But once again, we kill ourselves by talking shit and not knowing what the fuck we're talking about. This is not for your average bowler. And I think I just posted a response that he just made, in reference to that. So if you go on my Facebook page, you should see that. Um, this is not for your PBA, your professional bowlers. This is not for you to come put a team in and blow it out the water. You want more money into tournaments. You want to get sponsors. How about you come support and network so we could bring more eyes to this sport? So we could bring more money into this sport, because that's ultimately what you broke ass motherfuckers want, is more money. So this is one of those ways that can possibly happen. You have a lot of celebrities. From my knowledge, I'm not a celebrity. I don't know how their money works, um, but I hear it a lot. It could be a possible tax write off. You might could meet somebody. He might think you're cool. Like, hey, dog, what do you think about sponsoring a bowling tournament? Like these are the gateways into that. Will there be some good bowlers there? Yes, there probably will be some good bowlers there. But this is a way where we can get more eyes on the sport, more money, and maybe get the amateur circuit back up to what it used to be. Like, so all the trolling and all the hating and all like, it's unnecessary. It's bad for the sport. And we need to learn how to read the room. Pick and choose when we're going to do that. When we're going to make those comments, because I don't want to make it seem like those comments don't need to be said. Now, if this was me throwing this tournament and the celebrity aspect wasn't in it, and I'm just selling this as a regular tournament, yes, you have every right, and you should, with your comments, like, nah, dog, this ain't it. That ain't how you do it. This is too much. Blah blah blah. But this isn't that. This is not that. This is a brand. This is something, from what I'm understanding. And if I'm speaking too early, I apologize. But from what I'm understanding, he's actually potentially trying to start with his brand a reality show based on bowling. Something we've never seen before. Something that will bring more eyes to the sport. So before you start commenting on stuff that you don't know, find out the context of it. In this sport, we do that way too fucking much. We comment on shit that we don't understand or that are conversational pieces. I made a post last week that said, "Hey, can you elaborate on that? That will fix so many problems." So you're not guessing and trying to figure out dumb shit and saying dumb shit. Like, yo, we need to like, yo, this is a great thing for the sport that he's trying to do. A great thing. But we once again putting our foot in our mouths, and to be totally honest with you, uh this ain't some of these people that's putting this shit together, they ain't the ones that you want to be pissing off. That's all I'm gonna say in regardless of in regard of that. Some of these everybody ain't a bowler. People didn't grow up bowling. So you have to be very, very careful of when and how and what you're talking about. Where is my cursor? Mm. All right. But I'm still setting up. Like I said, we had a lot to talk about. I seen China's post earlier. Um that was very, very interesting. Her post was about people who don't um don't understand about um placement on a team. Lot that we do have a lot, a hell of a lot of individuals that are that bowls UBA. We have a lot of them. And is it bad for the UBA? Is it good for the UBA? Whatever your reason is for bowling, um, I strongly think you have to be careful with getting into the UBA because the UBA is a team bowling event. And if you're not ready to put the team above yourself, the UBA may not be for you. Now, there are some extreme circumstances. Um, as an owner, I try my best to respect people's time. Because let's face it, nobody has to be doing. Nobody has to bowl your team, bowl on your team. Nobody has to bowl with you. Nobody has to be doing the things that they are doing. So when, as an owner, when I'm making a lineup or my officers is making a lineup, I make sure, like I think, far as the most part, everyone on the team, we pretty much know their work schedule. Um, I have a motto on the team: choose work over us because you can't come live with me. Like you get kicked out, you get put out. I don't. It ain't gonna be because it ain't gonna be because, oh, I had to work, so I chose the bowl. I got fired. I need a place to stay. Nah, bruh. You need to make better choice decisions. That's what you need to do. So you definitely have to get those priorities in order. But as an owner, you do have to respect people's terms. And part of respecting people's time is also knowing their schedule. Or understanding their schedule. You don't necessarily have to know them because you can ask a bowler, "Hey, do you work? Do you have anything that you got to do?" But I mean, and if you are in that realm, you know, um, if you're in that realm, reading the comments now. But yeah, if you're in that realm, where you can bowl a lot and you can make yourself available for the team, Those things are great. Um, I applaud you for that, and that that you're putting your team first. That that you have that capability, because everybody don't have that capability. Everybody isn't. Um, ah, okay. Everybody is. You know, everybody. Everybody is very different. Ooh, let me see. All right, I got you. Um, all right, let me see this. Oh, that's the. As you can see it changing. Trying to change the color of it. Oops. Nope, that didn't do it. I don't like that. All right, hold on. This isn't what I want. All right, let me do this. So, but yeah, let me put this volume down. But yeah, people's texting me, but I appreciate the help. I'm trying to get this right. Um, what the hell? All right, but mm, mm, mm. But yeah, so I we got to do better. We got to do better because this sport. Uh, I saw Nick Weems make a post and it said, the thing that's killing bowlers is people's attitudes, and I can't agree more. The attitude, the feelings, um, the misunderstandings, and as I'm about to bring Michaela in tonight, who is going to be my special guest for tonight, I well, let me bring her on, and then I want to talk about that because I think there's a dynamic um to I think what I'm trying to figure out how to word it. What I love about the relationship of my teammates, um, on and off, far as the outsiders, um, is no matter what they decide to do, stay on the team, leave the team, we're still cool. Like I encourage it. Uh, there were rumors in the past about people starting teams and wanting to start teams. Hey, dog, what you need from me? What information you need? Let me tell you how, what to look out for. A lot of people don't know. It's a lot of people that I talk to. Vince. Everybody know Vince was on my team. He left, went to Southern Asylum. But people don't know me and Vince talk every day. Um, it's a lot of Alex Jordan. I know y'all see me going back and forth with him right now online on Facebook, but that's my guy. We known each other before bowling. Um, One thing about me and Alex relationship is even though he's a little bit younger than me, so I try to guide him, try to never try to tell him nothing wrong or but he has to live his own life. He has to do the things how he sees fit, and regardless of what he does bowling wise, I'm that's like I said, we known each other before bowling, so we're going to be cool after bowling. You know, um, that's still my guy. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people be getting things misconstrued about this bowling stuff. It's just like, yo, Doug, it's not that deep. It's bowling. It's bowling. Like it's a sport, you know. So with it being a sport, you like I can tell some of y'all never played sports in your life because there's no way that just because somebody's going to another team that it should be any beef or anything like that where we can't have a conversation or we can't continue to even bowl inside or in a different realm. Like I just don't understand that. And I probably will never understand that. Um yeah, I probably will. Yeah, I just don't get y'all. I just don't get it. So mm, yeah. So we are getting ready to start. My guest just came in. Um, so I want to thank y'all for tuning in to the outside. Um, I know for a fact that this is was a highly anticipated um guest. Let me go back here real quick. This was a highly anticipated guest. Um, so with that, we're going to shed some light on some things. Um, some things that I know she wants to kind of get off her chest. Some things she wants to clear up. Some things she wants to, and this is a safe place. Um, because I believe that sometimes communication is the best way to go. We're also going to do a preview, so I'm going to do my predictions and everything, and oh, I'm gonna do my predictions and everything. We're gonna get everything. Looking forward to this upcoming tour stop. Should be fun. I think this is going to be a must win and a close one for a couple of people. So, but without further ado, I'm gonna bring in Michaela. And as Michaela, how you doing tonight?
Hi, Martrell.
How's everything?
Everything's everything.
That's good. That's good. It's good. Looking like you just got off a CNA job.
No, I was actually asleep. I had took a nap and my nap ran over a little bit.
Look like you was scrubbing old man balls over there. But how you doing tonight?
I'm all right.
That's good.
I'm,
That's good.
I'm okay.
Now I know you was hearing a little bit about the conversation I was just having about one of the posts that China made. Um, not
About
necessarily China. I'm sorry. I wanted to address the when people leave teams, how they act. Like people act like they are like it's like we gang related or something. And we
yeah.
know, you used to be an outsider, and then you moved to Bad Intentions. And I think one thing that people don't know is our relationship never changed. We still talk
Correct.
on the phone. We still talk in the bowling alley. We still every nothing really changed except for this front part of your jersey. And
Hmm.
I think people get it. I think it's weird when people leave other people's team and they get so mad.
Yeah. I think honestly, people have to understand. Even when you leave teams, it's never personal. Um, it's always going to be a business decision, and you have to do what's best for you. Point blank. Period. even if you're even as simple as changing leagues, changing teams in leagues, if it's the same league, whatever, it's always a business decision. Now,
Yep,
unless y'all beefing personally, all right, cool, fine, whatever. But majority of the time, it's nothing but a business decision.
that's all. Yeah,
Hmm.
I don't think that people realize. They say they hear echo. Hold on, let me try to fix this echo. But yeah, I don't think people realize we are playing a sport, and sometimes the sport does not. It's just it may not be for the right team for you. But just
Hmm.
because it's not the right team for you, that doesn't mean problem. You know what I mean? Let me
Yeah,
see if they
people
could
take
still.
everything
Do y'all still
personally
hear the echo?
nowadays.
Oh, do you still hear the echo, or did the sound completely go?
Your sound or my sound?
Um. Okay, you can hear me. Okay. So, do you hear echo?
I don't hear an echo.
Okay, I don't hear echo either. Okay, they say we good. Okay, but yeah, I think we need to realize that everything, like you said, every situation isn't for everybody, and
Hmm.
because of that, I think you do have to make decisions, especially if you want to grow as a bowler. If you feel like the team that you're on isn't currently, your cup of tea, or something that you could feel like you can grow, or sometimes you just may not feel like your talent is being used correctly, and you want to go other ways.
Right.
But I think that's a conversation with you and the owner, and then you make that decision. And if the owner is holding some type of gripe, I think sometimes you may need to step aside and let other people handle it. Because one thing I will say is one thing about the UBA, and as I'm noticing with running teams, and I'm noticing with good teams, is they have pretty good
Hmm.
leadership. They have owners that you can talk to. They have owners that you can, they have owners that you can, you know, talk to about your goals and stuff, and put you in position to
Hmm.
succeed. And with that being said, we can jump right into it and address the little elephant in the room. Um, as I don't even think it was an announcement. I think people just found out. I don't even know how people found out the way they did. I know
Honestly,
I found
a lot of
out,
people found out before I even found out, which
and
is
that is
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Cause
Yeah.
so let me ask you. Okay, let's start there. How did you find out?
I found out because somebody texted me. I'm not gonna say any names or anything, but somebody texted me and sent me a screenshot like off UBA averages and was like dot 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 question mark. So I was like, hmm, well,
Mm.
let me go check the group chat.
Oh
Let
wow.
me go check the group chat. And of course, that's where everything kind of went on and conversations were had after the screenshot was sent to me.
Now, prior to you seeing the screenshot, and I don't want to talk
Hmm.
about that particular day, did you have any? Now, for those of you who don't know, there was a group of people who bowled for bad intentions that got released kind of out the blue without them knowing. And if you have questions, put them in the chat. And I see your question, Ek. We can address that also. Please keep the questions appropriate. I may not be able to get to all the questions, but I will try. So ask your questions in the chat. But for those, like I said, going back, so those of you who don't know, there was a group of people that was released by bad intentions, and in their group chat, I mean, I'm sorry, and some people found out because, and that's a weird thing. So, so you were just this person, not you. You were just randomly
Hmm.
checking UBA averages and came across
Like
bad.
I think they had conversations because I found out the night I came back from Myrtle Beach. So of course that whole weekend, I'm not thinking of anything but what's going on in Myrtle Beach.
Right.
Um, and I got home and yeah, he sent me the screenshot. So I was like, well, what prompted you to look it up? He was like, well, I had a conversation with this person and they told me, so I just looked it up. I was like, okay, type shit.
Right.
That's what's up. Like, why?
And this is a great question because we'll go ahead and jump right into this one. With you being removed, don't y'all pay like a monthly dues on that team?
Now, this is what I'm going to say, right? So I can only speak for myself because I only know what's going on with myself. Now, yes, we pay a monthly due. No secret, we pay a monthly due, 125 a month. All right, cool, fine, whatever. Initially, the 125 wasn't an issue because you see me at every UBA event.
Far
Every
as you, we're
single,
talking about
as
Michaela,
far
right?
as far as I'm concerned with the team, you see me participating in every UBA event.
That is true.
So it balanced out, in my opinion. It balanced out because when we get there, we don't have to worry about registration. We don't have to worry about paying the entry. We don't have to worry about this. We don't have to worry about that. We show up and bowl. Um, I took Everybody knows I take a step back from bowling in like November, December. Everybody knows this. It's no secret. It is what it
Hmm.
is. I took a step back in December. And I more so took a step back from UBA because I got into it with the team around that time as well.
This
I went for
was
the
hold on before this when you got into it with the team. This was how long before the release?
This was like December, January, between
Okay, so
December and
dang,
February,
so we in April.
right? So I took a step back because I didn't agree with a lot of things that were being said or being done. And I just felt like, okay, I'm just going to take a break, let cooler heads prevail. It is what it is. I went for the belt in January, no issues there. I stopped paying dues because I don't participate. Why would I pay dues if I do not participate in team events? It makes no sense to me. That's just me personally wasting money. Fine, whatever. Um, I stopped paying dues because I stopped participating.
Right, makes
Um,
sense.
Nobody really said that was an issue at the time. Um,
So for just
it
so
wasn't
people to understand, so you as the bowler, you were looking at it as okay, I don't mind paying the dues because I'm participating in everything. But once I
mhm,
took a step back, there's no need for me to pay dues because there's no need for them to pay for me to bowl anything. And that's how
correct,
you was looking at it.
correct.
Okay, continue.
That's what I say. If it was a problem as far as that is concerned, it should have been brought to my attention. Whatever, whatever would have been talked about. Fine, fine, whatever, whatever. Um, Now WCS,
Hmm.
that came from the dues as well. I went for the belt in January.
Right.
February, I had a bye. March, we didn't bowl.
March. Right.
I hit up Ray, right? I hit up Ray. I was supposed to drop from the list. I hit up Ray in March. I said, "Hey, I'm dropping from the list." Woo 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 woo. He said, "Okay." And I let him know. I said, "Well, if I can figure out certain things, like get things in place before April, I will let you know. If not, then keep me off the list." He dropped the list for April. I'm on the list. I say, "Okay." I'm the number 2 contender for the belt. Me and Sierra number 1 and 2.
Mm,
So I see the list. I'm like, okay, well, since I'm high up still, and whoever wins this match goes for the belt again, I said, okay, well, I'll just stay in it. Since I'm not paying dues, I paid for WCS out of pocket.
mm.
You pay the one-time
Right.
fee a month, whatever, whatever. That turned into me and Sierra had a conspiracy to for me to get around dues and pay WCS
Not a
by
conspiracy.
myself. Yes, we plotted that. Yeah, we plotted that. S-
He said not a.
Yeah, we plotted that. So that was another issue. Like I said, I think the problem was it's just a lot of emotional people. on the team. A lot of emotional people, as officers, a lot of emotional people that can't separate business from personal.
Mhm.
Um, and of course, it's no secret. I've been searching for other options. It's no secret. Everybody knows this. Whether it be me finding another team to go to, whether it be me starting my own team, whether it be me even not bowling UVA. It's no secret. I'm looking for other options. And I
Mhm.
say it all the time. People ask me, we got the camaraderie, we have the team camaraderie down pat. Everybody knows this.
Yes.
Um, but when it came down to decision making, when it came down to financials, when it came down to having answers about the financials, they didn't have what they needed. They never had any answers. So essentially, that's what prompted me starting to search. And don't get me wrong, every team you have, you're going to have a group of people always talking about looking for other options.
Mhm.
That's just what comes with having a team, point blank
Facts.
period. So to be upset about that, it's just, I think personally it's just you're emotional and it is what it is.
So so clearly there was a conversation. Do you think it was more of the questions that you had versus the questions that you had versus the rumors of you trying to find other options that led to this, or was it?
So initially what I will say, the first time I got into it with everybody, it was the questions I had. So of course, it's the questions about the financials. I feel like at the end of the day, if people are putting in their money, regardless of what team it is, you have to have answers. You have to be transparent. You have to know people are going to want to know where their money is going and how it's being used. People don't work for their money just to donate it and fuck it off. Like, excuse my language, but
Hey,
I didn't work for my money for that. Like, and so when I'm asking these questions and nobody had answers, it turned into I was money hungry. Now, don't get me wrong, if I'm not mistaken, UBA essentially is a competitive traveling league. And when you bowl competitively, you're bowling for accolades and you're bowling for money. More so
facts.
the money with most people, but some people the accolades, some people the money 50-50. So when you start saying people are money hungry and this is recreational, recreational is you going to practice, not paying $125 a month for
Right.
recreational bowl.
Right.
Like it didn't make
A
sense to me.
month. You're talking
So
a month at that. We're not
not a
talking
year, not every two
not a
months,
year.
not every
Yeah,
six months,
that's a
a
lot of
month.
money. So like I think I did the math. When you if you got 30 bowlers and they're paying 125 a month for it, I think initially we're at a 10-month season.
Mhm.
That's $40,000. That's
Right. And I did the math and I did the numbers in the group chat. And I said, at the end of the day, we're paying all this money. And the way they wanted to split everything, I told them I didn't agree with it. I told them it didn't make sense, especially when it came down to splitting WCS. WCS, I felt like should go to the people that worked for it, point blank,
mm.
period. Um,
Hold up. So elaborate on that. So they were splitting the money evenly through everybody
Instead of those who bowl. So if you
what
have
you
your
bowled.
select 10, you know what I'm saying? If you have your select 10 people that bowl, I feel like if they won that event, those 10 people should get paid.
Hmm.
They wanted to split, if those 10 people bowl and won the event, they wanted to split amongst 30 people.
Wow. Even if they didn't
Yeah,
bowl.
even if they didn't bowl. That's why I
I
say
need
I
to
don't
join bad
agree with it.
intentions. I need
That's why I
some
say
money
I
because
don't
if
agree
I ain't.
with it because at the end of the day, I'm paying to go to Greensboro. I'm paying to go to Charlotte. I'm paying to go to South Carolina. I'm paying for hotels. I'm paying for this. I'm paying for that. But I'm still going to see the same amount of money that somebody with their feet kicked up sitting by the fireplace.
Not the
You know what I'm
fireplace.
saying? It just didn't make sense to me. And of course, I'm always going to, if I'm on a team, I'm going to voice how I feel. It is what it is. You don't like it, don't have me on your team.
And then
But it was never, I never was
but you wasn't doing
disrespectful
it
about it.
maliciously.
No, I was never disrespectful about
Right.
it. Now, the problem I didn't like, you have officers constantly telling the group, you can always find another team. You can always jump ship. You can always, if this is not for you, you can leave. Like, nobody wants to be on a team where you have people in power telling you that you can leave the team when you
Yeah.
know you've been nothing but loyal to that team.
Now I want to backtrack just a little bit, because you said something to me. Well, you not to me, but you said something a little while ago, and I have to be honest with you. When I saw this unfolding, it was definitely a complete shock to me because, like you said, y'all team camaraderie, and you've heard me speak about it on this show several times. Y'all team camaraderie, you got that department down packed,
Mhm.
and so when I seen all of this unfold, especially with the people, um, I will go ahead and say it. Probably three of the most known Bad Intentions members, um, and the most active, which was a complete shock. Um,
Mhm.
y'all team camaraderie and the way y'all showed up was unmatched.
Oh.
The only other team that I know that does that in our division as well is probably DSL. And
Mhm.
even a lot of the Full Throttle too. I gotta throw Full Throttle in there. But for a first year team, y'all the team camaraderie was there. So I will
Mhm.
say that y'all, they did do a great job of I don't want to call it hiding what was really going on, but they did a great
Well,
job
it was
of at
only
least
it was
putting a
only
band-aid on
hidden.
it. Hmm?
Honestly, it was only hidden because it was talked amongst maybe 4 or 5 people, and it wasn't even group chat. It was on the phone.
Mm.
It was them calling each other. It's them going to each other's houses and talking about it. It was never like a group thing.
Right. So it wasn't really spoken amongst everyone.
Mhm.
Well, in the group setting.
Mhm.
So Tynell said, "What did I miss?" Uh, so we're talking to Michaela, who got a random phone call that she was released from Bad
I
Intentions
didn't
and
even
did
get a
not
phone
know.
call. I seen
Oh
the
no,
text
no, no! I'm talking about
message.
from somebody else.
Oh, it was all text
Oh, it was
messages.
a text. She
Like,
got a random text from a
mhm.
non Bad Intentions member that she was released. And finding out why. So we're at the point where they they gave. I mean, well, I ain't gonna say you. I don't know what to call it, but they paid $125 a month in dues. There was questions about where is this money
Mhm.
going, and it was determined that the money was being split up amongst the team, whether they bowled or not. And that's where initially, the questions started happening, and potentially the I don't want to say the downfall, but that's where the ball kind of start going. That's where stuff started going a little bit downhill. And so right now, Um, somebody that is so true. That is funny. She said they're treating it like a car club.
Child, yeah, car
That is
clubs don't even
hilarious.
act like this for real.
You somebody said they don't they don't hit your internet. So when you find out you get released,
Mhm.
was there a well? Let me ask. Since then, has there been a conversation with them?
Of course not.
So no one has reached
What I
out
will
from you.
say, the conversation that we had, essentially was about me getting my money for WCS since I paid for that out of pocket. Um, that's the only conversation I had with them. Outside of that, it like nothing else.
Lavina said, "Don't put her car club in that. They don't act like this." I ain't- Lavina said, "Not but so have you and I'm pretty sure you and the other ladies have had conversations
Hmm. We definitely
about what is
have.
going on and the things that you see. So how now? First of all, I seen D'Lo said we going on vacation. So right now, D'Lo is on vacation.
Yeah, D'Lo and Tab are on vacation right now, and I don't even want them to let the bygones be bygones. Let them enjoy their vacation.
So hold on, do they even know yet?
We all
Oh, okay,
knew from
okay. I'm
that
about
night.
to.
Yeah, we all knew from that night.
Okay.
Hmm.
So where we okay, so you find out there still haven't been a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before the release, did you
Mm-hmm.
feel like you were finished the season with Bad Intentions?
Um, I will say as far as participating,
Mm-hmm.
probably so. As far as me coming to support now, I started back working, so my schedule is not as open and available as it was before, where you see me everywhere doing everything. And I just moved into my house, so I'm still trying to get my house together.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So my availability is not as open as it used to be. I was still participating in WCS because I still had the shot at the belt or whatever. But outside of that, I really didn't have no intentions on really doing a lot of participating within UBA outside of the stuff that you travel for, and there's like a whole big weekend for it, like the
Right.
unholies and stuff like that.
Because you was going to the events. Like
Mhm.
you were going, you still was representing. Um
Mhm.
so where do you think, cuz I know we've had a conversation. Where do you think things really went left? Um that may have caused the release of you guys? Where you do you think
Um,
was there something that actually happened, and or was
Emotional
it
decision making.
rumors that just got out
I
of
just think
hand?
it's all emotional decision making. Because at the end of the day, if you can't be upset if other people are looking for other options. I've made it known I was looking for other options, even when I got into it with them the first time.
Mm,
But I did give the benefit of the doubt. This is a first year team. You know, a lot of stuff is not going to be in place. It is what it is. I said I'm willing to give it a shot, like give it some time for y'all to
mhm.
get whatever y'all need to get
Fix the
together.
kinks.
But yeah, but in due time, I probably won't be participating as much because I don't agree with a lot of it. And I have that right. And at the end of the day, people have the right to wait to fill stuff out, regardless if they're talking about leaving or not. And one thing I will say, one thing I don't respect is that you took an opportunity away from not only myself, but Sierra and D'Lo had the belt match this month.
Let's talk about it, cuz I was just
Even,
getting ready to ask that.
you know
So
what
go
I'm
ahead and
saying?
explain that situation.
So they had the belt match this month. But it was a situation with availability and scheduling with the other tag the tag team or whatever,
I
and
think
they
y'all
were going
going
to use a sub.
against, who is
I
it?
think somebody from Outcast or something like
Outcast, yeah.
that.
I think they're out
Yeah,
of Durham.
it was a whole situation. They couldn't figure that the availability or when to bowl, whatever the case may be. Um, Even to the point where we were going to use the sub. I was going to be the sub for the tag match. But like I said, one thing I don't respect is that you made this emotional decision making off the whim, and then you took that opportunity away from those ladies. And then not only did you take the opportunity away from those ladies, you tried to be sneaky about it and call people from other teams to take that place.
Mm,
You know what I'm
mm.
saying? I don't
Oh,
respect
oh,
that.
oh,
One That's one
we gonna
thing
get there. We gonna get there. Oh yeah, cuz I
I don't respect it.
yeah. So just for those who don't understand, with the WCS, D'Lo and Sierra, they were going after they have title shots this month. And in that title shot, and what the rules say, um, oh, what the rules say is that you have to be on a UBA team. So if you're not on a UBA team, you cannot participate in the WCS. Um, People are probably wondering, well, you can't participate in the UBA. Not all true. Like I always tell y'all to read the freaking rule books. They do have free agency, where you can be a free agent, and bowl events. I know those rules are a little wired. I don't know them like that, but you can be a free agent and bowl events. So what ended up happening, you cannot be a free agent and bowl in WCS. I don't believe. So what they did was I think it's on the 25th. Sierra and D'Lo's going for the Vixen tag team against the two members from Outcast. And what they did was they released them, and part of their release, they are no longer able to compete for those belts. So that means all those ladies' hard work, um, all their hard work, all that money they spent traveling would have went the race if they didn't get picked up for that by a team in time to their match. Um, now, hold on. What did you said something else after that that we were about to get into too? What was the last thing you said?
Calling people from other teams to take their spot.
Yes. So, um, they are the interesting part about this is I got a phone call that somebody.
No.
So this is why reading the rules is important. So I got a phone call that Bad Intentions contacted them and tried to convince them to come over to Bad Intentions and say, "Hey, we will give you title shots because the team has a Vixen title match, and we would like you to be our Vixen for it." Um, Newsflash, Bucko, it don't work that way. Read the rules. Hey, that's twice.
Yeah, I think
There's
that's
two
just
things
I
we
think
need to
that's
do as
just
bowlers: read the rules
spiteful.
and read the room. Remember that.
Hmm.
So, it is very, very, very interesting. That is a fact, Martin. Very, very messy. So you can't have them. So yes, the outsiders did pick up Sierra and D'Lo. So and they will continue their pursuit for the belt. I believe it is the 25th or 26th. They're going for the belt that day.
Mm.
Um, Now, from one of my sources, I keep hearing a term of a figure of speech in their um. I keep hearing a figure of speech whenever I hear a member talking about bad intentions. Is they don't really know what's going on. They don't
Right.
they don't really know what they're doing. Um, and now is that some truth to that, or is it just too many people
Um,
trying to be Indians? I mean Chiefs and not enough
no,
Indians.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It really wouldn't be a team without Sierra.
Mm,
Sierra did a lot for the team. Sierra
yes,
did a
she
lot
did.
with setting up matches, setting up this, setting up that, dealing with financials. Sierra was the team essentially. And she knew the rules better than the president. She knew the rules better than the owner. She knew a lot more than a lot of the officers. So there would not be a team if it was not for Sierra.
And I think it's Lamont. Lamont owns. Am I correct? Owns Bad Intentions.
I want to say, yeah, he's the owner and Travis is the president.
Okay,
Hmm.
so Garland is stupid. Um, so big shout out to Sierra because I know for a fact. Um, I know for a fact when I had my match, me and KC had our tag match. Um, she was the one that was scheduling everything. Like she was the one who contacted us. She was the one that set everything up. She was the one. Um, she was the one that. Hey, watch out, Sam. She was the one that we was go to. We were the. She was the one that set up the match. So it was, for them to release Sierra, it's going to be very interesting how that team survives after this. Um,
Hmm.
it's like losing a secretary that's been there for 20 years and you don't know how the filing system works.
Right.
So big shout out to Sierra. And I guess I can assume too that they didn't contact her, neither, or even spoke to her prior to the release. I know you
That
can't.
part I don't know.
That
I don't know who was contacted, who wasn't. All
okay,
I know
okay,
is, yeah, all I know is I found out from a third party. Um, yeah, and it wasn't like no phone call, no, hey, this is what's finna happen, this is what's going on. We feel like we need to go in a different direction. Whatever you may feel, it is what it is. But like I said, at the end of the day, one thing I don't respect is that you're taking the opportunity away from multiple
yes,
people. Even
yes,
if you feel like you wanted to go in a different direction. Okay, it could have been at the end of the season, this is what you got to go. It is what it is. Or you can't participate, but you can continue doing whatever it is that you want to do. Because you should never want to take some type of opportunity away from anybody, regardless of how you feel about that
yeah.
person.
Without a conversation, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like as an owner, even when we had to release someone, um, against their will, I took it upon myself. Hold on, hold on. Somebody just made a great point in the chat. Hold on, time out. So you mean to tell me she was paying $125 a month with all the stuff that she was doing? That just popped in my. Yeah, that is mind boggling. That is my. You y'all should have been paying her 120. That is crazy. That is. I just thought about that. That's crazy. That is crazy because I know some teams do have dues. They have like $100 a year, 120 a year, a season. Hold up, did that 125 a month? Did that include y'all jerseys?
The two jerseys that we have,
Yeah, did y'all? You had to buy your own jerseys.
the two jerseys that we have, that we
That
pay
is
for out of pocket.
y'all pay for that plus the 120. Yo, hey man, they done reinvented the pyramid scheme.
I just work here, babe. But like I said, for me, I can only speak for myself. It paid out, it evened out because I was
Yeah.
bowling. I was bowling.
So it makes sense for you, right? If you're the bowler on the team with no responsibility as far as being an officer or we ain't even gonna call it a secretary no more. The new term for it is now is you are Sierra. That's the Sierra just became an adjective. Like so so you had to pay that and pay your dues. I mean, pay for your jersey and your dues. Yo, this is crazy.
Yeah, it was a lot going on. But like I said, me
No wonder
personally,
y'all was at every event talking about go team go. I'd have been shit.
I
You trying to see where your money going?
I stuck it out because I believed in the greater good and believed in giving people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, they got a
Yeah.
pyramid scheme beat. Yeah, the pyramid scheme is yo. They done reinvented. What's that coming? Enron. Yeah, this is the new Enron. Right. Yo, that is crazy. That is a crazy deal. So now I hear the term that you're using, emotional. Because clearly, all right, I'm on my UBA shit right now when I say this. Clearly, I wasn't
Mhm.
emotional when it got to the tour stop and those losses. But but what? So what? So where did the emotions? Like what? I'm just trying to in my mind think like what do we have to be emotional about? Like was it really about the losses or was it something else? Far as I don't want to say something else, but do you think the losing made things worse, or was it would have ended up like this either way with their
Um,
mindset?
with their mindset, it would have ended like this either way. And to be honest, the losing wasn't the issue. Um, I mean, because we've talked about the losing. Like, It's no secret. We fucking lost damn near every tour. I think we only won one or two tour stops. No, not even two. We won one tour stop.
And that was the last
It's
one
no
against Southern
secret.
Mystics, right?
Yes. But at the end of the day, um, we knew that putting a bunch of people together, that haven't even really bowled together, um, that haven't really that haven't really bowled together. And we're still figuring out lineups. We're still figuring out this. We're still figuring
Right.
out that. So it wasn't a surprise like when it's back to back losses and it's not even like big losses. It's like it's
Yeah.
we're there essentially. It's just that we couldn't like we'll fall off third game. We'll be in the lead, but then fall off third game.
Right.
So
Right.
it'd be losses like that. As far as their mindset is concerned, it would have ended how it ended either way it went. You can't change that.
Yeah. That. So this was an interesting question. What was the sales pitch like?
So initially, so initially when it was brought to me, it was like, hey, you know about UBA. I'm like, yeah, we would love for you to join the team. Okay, cool. Um, they just like, we'll pay the 125 in dues, da 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 da. We'll participate in this, that, and the third, blase, blase, blase. It was
Now,
more
also, y'all,
so,
it wasn't just UBA. The 125. I want to make sure that the chat and everybody watching knows this too. The 125 wasn't just for UBA events, correct? Like I heard y'all was doing other events too that went through. Like for example, if okay, my bad. All right, I see the look. Okay, all right. So maybe okay. All right. Okay. All right. My bad. Keep going with the sales pitch. Okay. All right. Cause I'm like, oh, they gonna go to Turtles. They going. They going to Jams. They going
yeah,
125 a
that's
month.
the separate fee. That's the
Y'all
separate
was
fee.
going on a senior trip. That won't. Only y'all was going to Six
Separate fee.
Flags. Now, did that include meals after the tour stop?
I wish it would have made it worth my while.
Yeah. So yeah. So go ahead. Finish with the sell. Now, this is the sales pitch that you heard everybody get.
Um, yeah, essentially you pay the 125 in dues a month. Um, you bowl a few times a month, and that's just kind of what it was. Now, when I agreed to it, I had just met um a lot of the people on the team, and I met them when I was subbing in Austell. And of course we had a lot of they Um, I just met them, and of course we had a lot of fun. We were drinking a lot. We was doing this. We was doing that. So I didn't mind. Um, I didn't mind joining the team, paying the dues because I knew I would be bowling a lot. Granted, the direction I wanted to take with UBA, so I didn't mind it. So initially it seemed okay,
Right.
but then when you start talking about, well, what happens if you win this? What happens if you win that? Where's the money gonna go? Then it turns into you're money hungry, and this is recreational bowling.
But you're collecting the money. That makes no sense.
Okay, so I thought I was tripping, but I
Yeah,
just work here.
that makes no sense. Don't take money out my pocket. Then call me a name. First of all, you gonna take my money with some respect. You ain't call me no names.
I just work
You-
here.
to call you money hungry because you didn't want your money. I mean, you wanted to know where your money is going. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
slumlord. That's what that is. Don't worry about the money. You that is
yeah.
crazy.
Just yeah, we'll take the money, but don't worry about what you get back. Don't worry about
Now
that.
this is a good point. Now, are you going to get a severance package? Like, cause you done paid in the 401k, you done pay health benefits.
I think I get like a partial severance package.
Yeah, Like, do you get prorated? Like, that's crazy. That's a lot. That's 40K with 30 members. And y'all had about what, 2025?
I want to say no more than 25, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm, man. 20 you so I love y'all to death, right? I love you to death. And I'm gonna say it like this. I was a fan of some of the things that systems that y'all had in place. But I be goddamn. No wonder y'all was carrying. They were carrying y'all bowling balls because y'all was y'all was paying for valet. Hey, just pull up. We'll park your car.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, we'll park your car. Just pull up. Like you ain't had to park your car. You ain't had to. Hey, I'm about to go to the snack bar. Nah, we'll go for you. You ain't had to go to the snack bar. Hey, whenever you made a ball change, I know they brought the ball to you.
Okay.
Like that, that 125. Yeah, I would have got my 125 worth. That is crazy.
It's a
Yeah, 25 members. Yeah, with 25 is 31,000. I did my math. I think I did my math based on 30 people. But yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
it
that is
definitely
crazy.
was. And I think what made it worse was not having the answers. Like, if you have answers, it lessens the blow of the
Yeah.
nonsense. But when you don't have answers, then it's just like, okay, so what is it that we're really doing? Like, it makes it seem like something else is going on. Not saying anything else was going on, but if you can't answer these simple questions, then it's like, well, what am I really paying this money for? What am I really participating for if you can't even answer these simple questions?
So so it was so from what I'm hearing and what I'm gathering from others, it just wasn't. You just wanted a lot of. There wasn't enough information being passed throughout the members to understand everything in total.
I was a part of it.
Mm. Yeah, since that's a lot. It's a lot to deal with as a bowler, as a new team like that. Like, cause I ain't gonna lie
Whoa,
to you.
whoa,
When
whoa,
I
whoa,
heard the
whoa.
120,
I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not even gonna hold you. And I could tell you this right now. What really made me question me being on the team, if you got an officer telling you if the team was ran how it's ran now and I was part of the team, I wouldn't even want to be part of the team. So you got an officer telling you that, what the fuck I'm
mm.
on the team for? But I
I said, did the bowlers get new equipment? Somebody should have. You got free
I
access to the
wish.
pro shop. So, but so initially, because here's no, y'all playing tour stops with that money too. But 120, yeah, I'm trying to. So when I first heard about the fee, my understanding was that y'all are going to be bowling a lot of events, non UBA and UBA, and you wouldn't have to pay for entry fee because that's where that money was going. Now, in that sense, I can kind of understand it because at first I thought I heard, but I think later I was misinformed. But I thought someone told me that they were a bowling club before the UBA. But
I believe so. I don't know what they was doing beforehand because like I said, I had just met them when I was bowling in Austell. Um, Initially going into it, they didn't plan to do WCS. They didn't plan to do all these extra UBA events. It kind of as it got posted, it kind of agreed to do it. Initially what was talked about was you doing the tour stops.
mhm.
And as the events came up, as the events got posted, okay, let's do this. Okay, let's do that. Who's available for this? We can enter teams for this. So it wasn't like I'm coming to you, Martrell, trying to get you on the team. Oh, we're gonna do 7 events a month, and then, you know what I'm saying, plus the tour
Right.
stops. No, it was we're doing the tour stops, and as time went on, more events that populated were more events that we participated in.
So it was just y'all were just going at so they were I don't want to say this like this, but hey, I'm gonna say it. So they were just kind of making it up as it went along.
Correct.
So there was no clear when you first joined. I'm speaking of there was no clear thing of what the money was going to other than tour stops.
Correct.
And I can yeah, that's still a
And
lot.
then when you ask questions, you get told you're money hungry, and this is a recreational club. Babe, recreational, I don't have to pay this money.
Not this much, even if it is some money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, yeah, and this is the thing with a lot of some of the bowlers, and bowling together, um, is a lot of it is based on money, and I'm not gonna say his name, but I heard one of the realest things, in the sport of bowling, and I understood what he was saying. And if you are like this, I think you should stay away from team sports. I had a gentleman who I was trying to get on the UBA team because he bowls very well, and he said, he looked me dead in my eyes with a straight face, no smile, and said, "Homie boy, I don't like doing this shit." He said, "I do this because I don't got to get a part time job." He said, "The moment I stop making money in this, I am gone."
Mm-hmm.
So I get that. And I respected him because he did not jump in a team sport because of that. But I say that to say that does not excuse bowlers just taking money just because they can. Um, I personally think the money aspect is taking away from the competition aspect of the sport
Mm-hmm.
because nobody wants to compete at this point. They just want to make money. Now, don't get me wrong. First of all, you should not have found this out the way you did. It definitely should have been a conversation. But I will say, I definitely felt sorry, for Sierra, you and D'Lo, because, like I said before, y'all are some of the most active on that team, and that
Mm-hmm.
is tough to say. You know, you having questions and not getting the answers. And we keep saying one comment, but was so with the emotions was like was there now trying to figure out how to word this because I don't want to place blame and I don't want to, but I do want to clear some things up because from my knowledge, and a couple of my sources for what I'm hearing about the situation closest is Lamont is, I don't want to say, Lamont really wasn't in the forefront of all the drama. It was like it was the
Mm-hmm.
officers and who he had elected to put in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Am I is my sources of that telling me correctly? Because I
I
don't
can. The only
I
thing
don't
I can say
hear
from
too
my
much, huh?
understanding, what it always comes down to was, I didn't know this, I didn't know that, we didn't know this decision was being made, we didn't know that decision was being made, it was just made. So
And
every
that
time
that's
something
kind.
hit the fan,
And I'm not gonna
that's what
lie.
would come
Outside
up.
looking in, it did look like, and I actually I think I spoke about this on the show. It did look like Lamont was delegating very well. He was known, far as I'm talking about. Outside looking in. When I say delegated, like he was able to pretty much kick his feet up and relax and enjoy his team while he elected the president. Because, like I said, y'all team camaraderie was unmatched for a while,
Mhm.
especially in the beginning, as y'all was showing up. So it I guess I don't want to use the word clueless, but it did seem like he didn't know a lot of what was really going on behind the scenes.
That's how it was portrayed to me, so that's what I can only go off of. Now, what he knew and what he didn't know, I can't tell you because I'm not inside his head, but what it was
Right.
portrayed to me personally was a lot of not knowing what's going on.
So okay, so I gotta ask you this then. With that, so did anyone did anyone come out and be like, "Hey, dog, this ain't how you run it," or "Hey, we need a better system," or "We got to figure out something better."
Mhm.
And I guess and so when that conversation happened amongst your group, how was that perceived to the people who was making the decisions?
Um, so when I said, certain things just don't work, um, I was told, we're still a first year group, and we're still working out the kinks, and we're working on things that work and don't work, and then we'll figure out changes to implement for the next year, which turned out to be nothing but talk because they still planned on doing whatever it is that they wanted to do.
Yeah, that's tough because now let me ask you this because I see a lot of it in my team. I see a lot of it in other teams. I think all owners see it in a team. Was there side conversations with people away from the team? And here's the reason. And for those who's watching, I'm now asking these questions from an owner's standpoint, talking to a bowler because a lot of times conversations happen and the owners don't know. Um, do you feel like it was a lot of sidebar conversations that wasn't being talked about with the owners to help make these changes, or not even just the owners, but just also the officers who were making the decisions? Because from what it sounds like, and like you said, from your knowledge, and we don't know, um, the owner wasn't really privy to everything that was going on a lot of the conversations. But if it's a group chat, my mind is he sees it.
I know there were a lot of sidebar conversations, but I mean, you get that with any group at the end of
Right.
the day. Um, whatever was put in the group chat, it wouldn't. I could say whatever was put in the group chat, whether people agree with it or not, nobody ever spoke up. The only person that spoke up was me, which is why I was seen as combative, which is why I was seen as pretty much the stepchild or whatever when it came down having these conversations. Um, what is Trump talking about? But yeah, a lot of people wouldn't speak on what they felt was right, what they felt was wrong. They'll do it off to the side. They would never put it in a group chat.
See, yeah, and that's the question I just asked. Yeah. So now let me. So where I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be totally honest. I'm still tripping on the 125. Was there bowlers that didn't bowl that was on the team?
Mhm.
Now that they didn't bowl because they didn't get picked, or they didn't bowl because of choice.
Um, a lot of it came down to availability. 90% of it
Okay.
was availability.
Okay.
Other times it would be we have a lot of low 200, 190 bowlers, and it'd just be who can match up the best at whatever event or whatever tour stop or whatever.
Now I'm curious. What is something talking about?
I don't know, him and his damn Android.
So all right, somebody. I'm curious now. Well, we addressed this, Dwayne, because I asked her how was the energy, was the losses have anything to do with it, and she said it did not have. Losing did not have that. Of course, they were trying to figure it out, but losing wasn't the.
I
Oh,
mean, we
see
were still
now.
supportive of each other. Even
Yeah,
when we was losing, it'd be like, oh, we only lost by this point, so that means we have to work on this, or
glass half full.
our win is, you know what I'm saying? Or the win is coming, and blase, blase, blase. It wasn't like, damn, we fucking suck. No, it
Oh,
wasn't that. It was never that.
so I got you now. I see what you're saying. Now, from my understanding, some and to the chat now that sees it, from my understanding, and that's why I just asked that last question. And from my sources, when you got this, you got to have a little sources. From my sources, was that this really had nothing to do. The whole release, the whole now from the decision making, I can't really speak on that. But the whole issues wasn't with Lamont, the owner. Am I understanding? Is that true, Michaela?
I'm sorry, say it again.
I said, from my understanding and what my sources was telling me, because I did a lot of, I ain't gonna say investigation, but a lot of times information falls in my lap, and
Mm,
when I ask questions, like before, I ask a lot of questions because it has to make sense. And one of the main questions I asked was about the owner. From my understanding, as it Lamont, the problems wasn't with Lamont. It
mm-mm.
was with one of the officers. Um, that and that's the emotional one that you keep referring to, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that's why
And I'm gonna say this 1 second, Martrell. It's no secret I left the Outsiders because everybody knows the Outsiders is stacked, and I wanted
Mhm.
to go somewhere where my talents
Hold
could
up,
be
say that
more
one more time. I like the
showcased.
way that sounded. Say that again.
Okay, Martrell.
But all right, one more time. Go ahead, finish your statement.
Yeah, everybody knows they have a lot of great bowlers, and at the end of the day, where I'm at now wasn't where I was at 2, 3 years ago. Period. And I wanted to go somewhere where I could better showcase what I've been working on. It ain't nothing, no beef, no nothing personal.
Yeah, we spoke about that a little bit earlier. I know. For those of you who just came in, we had a conversation about that because a lot of people that well, it's not a lot, but the people who have left the Outsiders, um, I think I still have a great relationship with them. We still talk. But I yeah, so that's why I don't think it's yeah, it's not the owner of Bad Intentions that had the that most of the problems were with. Um
Mhm.
but so with bad in, so with Bad Intentions and the UBA team, I love these conversations because it brings to light that something that a lot of teams go through. Some of them are just small. Some of them are mighty. Some of them definitely. Some of them, you know, get blown out of proportion. Some of them can be fixed. Some of them can't. But at the end of the day, it's a team. And once again, I gotta applaud y'all because up until whoever was investigating what you call it UBA averages, kudos to you for breaking this story. You're like Brian Windhurst. um, you're like Woj. This dude broke a story and everything went crazy. But y'all, like I said, y'all did a great job of hiding it. But the release definitely shocked a lot of people, especially the people who was released. Now I'm trying to word this politely, and you know how a lot of people are, and I have to ask this plain devil's advocate: was it really emotions, or was it? When I say emotions, was they really being emotional, or was it I don't like the way you're talking to me, or is it one of those situations like I always say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Imma just address this real quick. Like I said, we're coming on at the tail end of this live asking questions that already been answered. Nobody said the team didn't support each other. Nobody said
Oh
I
yeah,
never
no,
got a
they
chance to
definitely
bowl.
support it.
You know what I'm saying? And now it's starting to like, it's getting redundant. And we're asking these questions that were addressed in the beginning of the live.
Oh. Hey, Sierra gonna have a lot of real job offers after this.
I'm talking about payroll and all.
Payroll, she gonna have benefits. Yo, Sierra, yo, the that is a great point, Sam. Oh no, 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 yeah, she definitely. That's one thing we did talk about. That is a great point, Sam. A 202 UBA average off of 189 intern average. That's a win in my book. The average bowler is 10 pins plus down on their entering. Now, there was somebody that I know that did do that back when his UBA team was starting up and he was a little bit more motivated. He had less kids back then when he first started this team. He came into UBA as a 175, and in 2 years he rose that to 215, and actually started the playoffs. He had to get re-rated, and his team still let him bowl. Shockingly, because I didn't think they were going to let me bowl. I mean, that person bowl. Yeah. So yeah. So congrats for being in that club. There is a couple of people I know off the rip. I know Romo, Rodney. Rod, I love him to death. He was on that list. Who else could I say was on that list? I think Abby was on that list if I'm not mistaken. There's a couple of people, but it's an exclusive club. And Sam, you got on shorts in this picture, Sam.
Shorts is crazy. Because why are you looking at the
Yo,
picture?
Sam. Yo, you never seen Sam? Sam don't even look like he own a pair of shorts. But 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 the entertainment level in our division for this is top tier. I think I think a lot of these conversations are great to be had because it really sheds light to a lot of people's teams that think that their team is a problematic team or whatever, but it's really that a lot of teams go through different things in different ways. Um Once again, I got to figure out how to word this and word this properly. The leadership in the Outsiders when it first started was not the best. And that's because we did not know what we were doing. And then also, if I'm being, didn't expect all this work. I'm talking when the first leadership of the Outsiders, we didn't know it was going to be
Mhm.
this much work. Some people stuck around, some people didn't. Some people made time. And of course, with me being the face at the time, I had no choice but to stick around. And I was going through, and still am going through a lot. A lot of things, man. One thing for sure, life is going to keep life in.
Mhm.
But with the leadership, I knew we had to make some changes. I knew I had to put people in place and delegate. Tried some things, didn't work. Tried some things that didn't work. That's why I'm always forever thankful for the current Sierra that we have. I told you Sierra's an
Mhm.
adjective now. And Tarika, because Tarika was a big. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Tarika saved the Outsiders. Because it was very close to this year being the last year. If it would have went on like it did previous years. And my team know I used to the OGs of the outsiders. They know I used to, and you know, I used to beg for help. And at the time, I think he was working at what UPS, and you were working like crazy when so you couldn't help me, and you wanted to.
Mhm.
You couldn't help me like you wanted to because you were working. I think, and you were night shift too, weren't you?
I was night shift and I
Yeah,
was putting in between 60 to 100 hours a fucking
yeah.
week.
That was yeah. You were
Mhm.
yeah. You was Jamaican for a while. Uh, but it I was, and she knows I was begging for help. Like, yo, help me. Like it was like the outsiders was very close to closing down because it was like, I know I had got a daughter. I lost my brother. I lost my best friend. I lost my aunt in all back to back months. June,
Mhm.
July, August. On top of that, had a baby the following. So it was whew, it was a lot. And I will say a lot of times that the reason why it would have been hard to close it is because of the bond that we had, and the outsiders didn't this jersey just didn't mean something to me. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It meant something to a lot of people on the team. And that's what was the driving force. So I say that to say, just because your team is going through something now, it does not always mean that is going to be how rough it is going forward. Um, Sometimes you have to put yourself in better light. For example, as an owner, I chose to do certain leagues just so I can watch certain bowlers who I wasn't able to see previously. For example, um, I was bowling a lot at Lilburn. Where was I? I was at Lilburn, Loganville. There's a lot on, what
Mhm.
is this called? I use GPS everywhere. What is this? What is the Lilburn one? What is this called? Northern Atlanta, north of Atlanta, where I'm at.
Oh, don't ask me
I
because I
guess,
don't know.
right? So I didn't get to see a lot of bowlers on the south side. So then I joined the league in Conyers. That's not the south side, I know, but I joined the league in Delk. I know, still not the south side. Relax. Um, so I got to start to see EK more. Got to see Dewanye more, Nick Weems more, and
Mhm.
those bowlers. I think over the summer and this summer I will be at Forest Park and Southern. So I say that to say I try to move around as an owner so I can see my bowlers, what they're doing in league, because I keep up with my bowlers a lot, even the ones that you don't see at tour stops. I know what you're doing in league. League
Mhm.
secretary is free. It's $4.99, I think, yearly or something like that if you want without ads, because the ads is annoying as fuck.
Them
Um,
ads be vicious.
yes. So, but I I say that to say the Outsiders team, I can honestly say, has gotten better. Far as management, far as how we do things year after year. Can we improve on things? There's no fucking doubt about it. We can improve.
There's always room for
Yeah.
improvement with everybody, regardless if you think you're the most perfect team or the most perfect person, there's always going to be some type of room
Yes.
for improvement.
Now, I will say this too. If you are on a UBA team and you are looking to get more, and you have the time,
Mhm.
ask the owner, like, hey, can I be in a position, can I learn, or can I see how we do the lineups, can I be in that conversation, can I be in that room, and I will definitely, you know the owner will definitely see what there can be done, for that to
Mhm.
happen, so you can, get into those positions. I'm not a big fan of new teams getting new members and then leaving to join new teams. I ain't gonna lie, that makes no sense to me. Um, and I just don't get it. Like, because you're going from one learning curve to another learning curve, and a lot of these new teams, they're like, it's no secret they have to go through a learning period. So
Mhm.
if you don't like the way that things are going, you know, before you leave the team, I will find out if you can what you can do more for the team, um to put yourself in those positions to get the looks and to be considered. Also, I will find out what you need to do to, I would then, see, hey, one of the questions I say, hey, what are we going to approve next year? I always tell my team, if you have
Mhm.
any suggestions, now send them to Tarika. Um, send them over to us, and we can definitely look. I think there was a situation before on the team, and Trey was, and shout out to Trey. Trey, was trying to say it, but we just, couldn't really. And when I say we couldn't understand what he was saying, it just sometimes people say things, and it doesn't mean you're saying anything wrong. You may not be
Mhm.
wording it in the correct for understanding. We have a lot of people from a lot of different places, so it doesn't resonate how they say it. And I remember EK came on and he said it, and Trey ended up commenting, "Hey, that's what I've been trying to tell y'all," and it kind of made
Mhm.
sense, to a notion, and we started trying to implement it more, and working on it. Clearly, it's been working for team rankings because now we're number one, getting ready to battle for defend
Congrats on
first as
that, by
soon
the
as we can
way.
figure out something. It's been stressful. Let me say this too, real quick. Sidebar. Since this got brought up, team rankings. Let me say this and that. Team rankings, and if you're a new team, reach out and ask for help. I talk to several owners, often, very often. Um, talk to people from North Carolina, South Carolina teams. When I say often, I'm talking about we have regular conversations, maybe every day, and I'm not joking. Every day, I'm learning something new about the UVA. Every day, I'm learning who's who does what. I'm being taught, whether it's by Leonard Freeman, Gustavo, um, Nick Smith, Ray, um, even who else do I talk to on over? Clyde. Um, I talk to a lot of team owners, a lot of people who are on team presidents. I learned a lot from Dilly Daff. We man, us and Dilly Daff, boy, we done bowled so many goddamn times, but I've learned a lot. So I part of the advice I will learn, if you're in team rankings and you know you have a match coming up at a location. This is something new I learned. Being the number one team, you know how if you how team rankings work, how we come up, we both go into a chat and we talk about what dates we are available. So I suggest that if you know you agree on a place, or if you know a half place, or if you're the number one team and it's at your home, before you start talking about what dates you want to bowl, find out that schedule of that center for that, because I think team rankings is what, every 2 or 3 weeks. Find out the next 3 weekends
I think
that
it's every
they
2 weeks.
every 2 weeks. So find out that
I think so.
the next 2 weeks that y'all scheduled to bowl, and it will make things a little bit easier because we had a situation where we both agreed on a date, and when I went to go check with Conyers, there was a youth tournament that was popping up. And with that youth tournament, um, we didn't know about it. And it was kind of, Ray was like, "Well, damn, you didn't get the center information before y'all start talking." And that was one of those things where Ray, we didn't know. Like it's great advice. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's great advice. You're absolutely right. We should have did that, but we didn't think about that. So, but give your team a chance, and I definitely agree with this comment. Um, I would love to bring him in. He said, this is why things happen because teams need to have team players, just like any other team. They have their ups, they have their downs. There's definitely two sides of a story, and there's get facts and not just gossip. And I agree. That's why I love this platform now that I've created. It's a safe place where we can definitely, speak on it, get the understanding, and also I think these type of conversations help people who are watching, who's looking to leave teams and join team, to say, oh well, let me at least give them this amount of time. That way we can, um, that way we can, you know, see if things get better. Um, the UBA probably need to enforce a rule like, hey, if you join a team, you got to stay with them for 2 years or something like that. I don't know, but nah,
Hmm.
because then that would get very messy. Um,
So you think it should be like a regulation on joining and leaving teams?
no, because it's hard. Because I think situations are different, so it's hard to regulate that. Because if
Hmm.
you could get you can really get into a dangerous situation with that. You know what I mean? A situation may happen. You don't want nobody not being able to participate because you could, yeah, that can get kind of dicey. So, but I think when you're dealing with a team environment, you have to figure out a way to make yourself visible to get picked. For example, in other sports, a lot of times you you could be the best player on the team and still not be a fit for the team. One of the
Hmm.
best examples out here is probably Michael Beasley. Um, Michael Beasley is probably one of the coldest basketball players to ever walk this earth. I if it I can't remember who it was. I think it was Josh Hart. He said, I probably one on one, I probably got Michael Beasley over KD. And I agree with him. But Michael Beasley had a hard time staying in the NBA because he just wasn't a fit on a lot of the teams. So I honestly think, we have to you have to figure out a way to, stay visible, to stay active, and to be a team player. Sometimes you may come off of a team and you're a scratch bowler. You may
Hmm.
join another team and their scratch bowler's already set. So you have to be a handicap bowler. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just what the team needs at the time. Mm. So well, I think you did kind of speak on this earlier, but you said she asked what team are you signing with now? I know you recently said you're still weighing your options.
Hmm.
And you said so, yeah, because there are some great teams out there um that can definitely use a Michaela. I also think that from the sounds of this situation, being totally honest, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if all three of y'all came back to Bad Intentions. Um, the
I'm
reason
gonna
why
be
I say
honest with
that,
you.
the reason,
I'm
hold on,
I'm
let
gonna
me
be
tell
honest
you
with
why
you.
I say that before the reason why I say that is because it from the sounds of the story, it sounds like one bad apple is spoiling the bunch.
Mm. Is that a question?
No, 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 no. That was just
Uh,
my opinion. But you
okay.
go ahead. What you was about to say? Being honest with
Being honest with you, the team camaraderie was there. That part
you.
never lacked. I mean, you see me standing on tables and chairs and shit like that,
Hmm.
dancing, having a great time, whatever, whatever. It's just certain things when you're never gonna have anything that you fully 100% agree with. That's with the team, that's with the job, that's with anything in life. But there are certain things that cannot be overlooked. There are certain things that have been said, that have been done, that cannot be overlooked for it to be a a spin the block type situation. You know what I'm saying? So if things probably took a different turn and and ended differently, maybe, possibly. But I definitely don't foresee it in my future. And it's okay. I mean, like I said, it's nothing personal. Um,
It's just bowling.
you know what I'm saying? It's just bowling. It's just bowling.
Now, ain't
EK is aggravating.
I definitely agree with this. He said some people need to just work more on their game, and I am a big fan of that because a lot of times I got to use Nick Weems as an example. Hold on. Oh, I got to use Nick Weems as an example. Is I think I got we definitely be in the talks of making sure he is playoff eligible because he is probably that I've seen. Hey, I gotta say this, Jacob. He's surpassing you in work ethics. He is putting in work. I'm trying to think of another bowler who I see putting in as much work as him. Exit, shit, exit. Like every time I turn around, exit is bowling somewhere. Exit is putting in work. Um,
Hmm.
who else? China. China's up there with the
China's
work
definitely been putting in
with the
work,
work
and it's
she's
definitely
putting
showing
in.
too.
Um, trying to think who else I've been seeing. It's a lot of you if I didn't call it, but those are the ones that I Garland. Garland is another one who I've seen putting in the work, and the work is showing. Um, Martin French. Martin French is another one who I see putting in a
Hmm.
lot of work. And the results is showing. Um, Reggie Bogart, Reggie Lewis, he's another one that's putting in the work. And it's showing. And when I say putting in the work, I mean they don't give a damn who's on if they're practicing by themselves, if they're putting the money and going to the bowling factory, they get lessons or they're practicing after before league. They're putting in work. So I definitely think you should it definitely should, you know, be a you definitely need to start your work ethics will show.
Hmm. That's for sure.
Your work ethics will definitely show. What's this knockout logistics said? You put in the work in your game. People aren't they can't help but to see it. Yeah, I'm with you, Rich. It's just bowling, and I think that's where people get it confused. We are playing a sport. I played basketball all my life. I've been around sports. I've been around. I'm still a sports official. I've refereed every single sport and every single except soccer and been in tournaments, and I just don't see how things turn so fast as a bowler. The UBA is still a sport. The UBA is a business, but every bowler on in the UBA don't have to deal with the business side. Um,
Hmm.
there are some bowlers um, that a lot of the scratch bowlers they don't have to deal with the business side. Um, but I definitely think that once you put on the work in the work, you definitely be seen. Now, also with that, you have to put yourself in pressure situations because we already know the UBA. First of all, a lot of y'all don't know in this division. Michaela could tell y'all when you start going to Norfolk Carolina, especially North Carolina and up north, it's a different. It's
Hmm.
way different. It's way them
Hmm.
motherfuckers don't give a damn. Their intentions is to make you cry.
Well, for sure.
Their intentions is to make you cry. So But yeah, they
Jump said he mentioned somebody else, Kimani. Kimani has definitely been on fire lately.
Kimani. Okay, see.
Hmm.
I don't think I'm friends with him on Facebook, so I don't really, and I don't get to. The only time I really get to see Kamani is that. Well, I see him now on Mondays. I started subbing there, and then, but I haven't bowled. We be on opposite sides. But shout out to Kamani because I know the
Hmm.
last couple of tour stops he bowled, he been killing it.
He's been having honor scores back to back to back.
Yeah,
So
he's been
he's definitely
killing it.
somebody that's been putting in work.
You know what I'm noticing? You short people, but like it must be something with
All
gravity
right. So
being
on that
lower.
note, I'm gonna go ahead and log
The
off. On that
Yo,
note.
short people be putting in work. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Short folks been bowling lately. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie you. But we are those. Hold on, I'm just reviewing the comments. Make sure we got all the questions.
We talking about how Canes is really overrated and it's really nasty, but
Yeah,
that's
it's the
neither here
salt.
nor
It's
there.
the sauce in the toast. That's all. Nobody go nobody goes to Canes for the chicken tenders. Make my own goddamn chicken tenders. Just give me. They just need to bottle the sauce and just sell bread.
Sauce and bread.
That's it. We get our own goddamn chicken tenders. Like they just need to bottle up that sauce and bread because that's about. They need to make the turn them breads into hot dog buns. That's ain't yeah. That's it.
That's funny.
So let's talk about this. This is a good comment. A good question. He said those
I do
running
have a
it
question
don't
for you
treat it
though.
as sporty. UBA is a straight business, and if anyone approaches it as such, it would be no time for emotions. Um, I see where you're saying, D Mac. I still say it's a sport because they're like not to call um I'll use myself as an example. Here's why it's a sport. It's a sport because at the end of the day, you still have to perform and bowl. You still have to score. So the very first time I bowled the playoffs, I was doing so much to make sure we won, far as the antics, far as focusing on bowling, far as making
Hmm.
sure everybody was straight. I couldn't bowl the second round of the playoffs because my emotions and everything was running so much. And with if I was able to control my emotions, I would have been able to bowl that second round, and we probably would have made it to the third round because I think we only lost by 20 pins. So that's why I say it's still a sport. The business aspect is everything outside of the bowling alley, and I see that's why I say I see what you're saying because you're saying if you approach it before you get to the lanes as business, and understand what the team concept is, and that's why I say getting involved more with the team to understand the direction that they're trying to go. So I think that's to your point too, D Max. So I definitely understand that. Um,
So do you think these UVA teams should have a cap on the rosters? Because I
it
seen
makes
that
sense.
earlier.
I can see why they do it. But here's my okay. I'm glad that's a great question. So here's my thing. I think when you have areas like ours, we have a large area for bowling.
Hmm.
We got what about 6 to 8 bowling alleys, right? A lot of places only have like 2 bowling alleys, maybe 3. Sorry, y'all, that's my stomach. Um, ooh, I got food in it. My bad. Um,
I don't want no Raising King
nah,
sauce and bread.
I can't eat bread no more. I have a
Mm.
chicken Caesar salad that I have to eat. Anyway, um, I ain't gonna lie to you. When I had that stomach virus, I'm still scared to eat. Like I don't know
I
what.
would be too.
Like and that was man, that thing had me down. But the the thing about this area is the area is big, but a lot of us bowl together.
Mhm.
Like for example, I think last year it was like a lot of us that bowled at like four different leagues all together, all on different teams. Now the cap, I can see it happening. And I love you to death, Tynell. Maybe not to death. Don't know you that well, but I do love you. Um, I strongly think this area, being Atlanta, needs something else. It definitely needs something else. It needs X League, maybe not the X League. It needs the big league. It needs Federation. I think Federation would do great down here. Because Federation will be able to showcase the talent of the up and comer bowlers. Because from what I'm hearing, they do have a cap. Um, and the reason why I say this area would thrive with something else, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying go away from the UBA. The UBA will still be here, but I think now with the more because there's rumored to be like four new teams coming. And I know three for sure is coming. I'm not sure about this fourth one. I know three teams for sure is coming next season. The UBA is going to start getting saturated. There's not enough
Mhm.
talent to go around because even though we have a large area for bowling, we don't have a lot of members to fill all these teams. Um, so I definitely think we do need something else in this area so we don't saturate the UBA because as teams are coming in, they're going to be pulling from other teams if they could because that's all that's left. Or you're going to be getting new members and you're not going to be able to compete with the teams that already got all the good bowlers, i.e. DSL, even the outsiders,
Mhm.
critical role, and now we're striking results.
Mhm.
Unless you can, I still think striking results. Daniel probably get hey, you win a division, you get three free balls. That's probably that's probably why they balling. I'm joking, don't know that, but striking results, they were able to do it, but striking results, I don't know how. I don't know how Daniel was able to convince because a lot of the bowlers on striking results, I tried to get them before, and they told me, "Oh, we can't do UBA. I don't want to do UBA." And then boom,
Mhm.
they were here. So I don't know how he was able to pull those bowlers, but not. I'm glad he did because some of them I think needed to be showcased with their talent, but after once they came and got those bowlers, I don't see if a new team coming in, I don't see a strong lineup they can put together unless they're pulling from other teams. And if you're pulling from other teams, then that team is going to decline. So that's why I
Right.
think we need something like Federation down here. And if Federation does come down here, it will definitely get the notice. I think that will be able to stay competitive because you'll be forced to use those lower average bowlers. And
Mhm.
with those lower average bowlers, they'll be able to get something because let's face it now, these lower average bowlers with the way the handicap work in UBA, they can't compete, you know. And if you're still one of those ones that think you need handicap in the UBA, look at striking results.
Mhm.
Striking results don't give a damn who you put in front of them. You can have 69 pins. You gonna need all 69 of them. Pause. So you have to, I think this area has to find something else. Um,
That what's that new league that I seen you and Joan posting? Was it like the big
Yeah, yeah,
league
yeah.
or
The big
something
league.
like
I have no
that?
idea what it is.
Mhm.
To be honest with you, I just like I said, I just feel like this area needs something else. Because I think if we get federation down here, you can possibly see the outsiders and critical role mixing and matching teams, or bad intentions and the outsiders mixing and matching teams. Not saying we will get together and do that, but
Mhm.
you will be able to mix it up more, and that's how I see it in North Carolina. That's why I think it works in North Carolina, because I believe Claudia bowls federation down in North Carolina. So, and Claudia is on DSL, and I think she's on the same team with um Dre and some of those
Mhm.
folks down there. I'm not 100% sure. I could be wrong about that, but my point is, you'll see people. You'll have other teams. For example, I know Quincy and Dewanye is real cool, and Nick and Ek. You can see them teaming up for a federation team, and then it'd be totally
Mhm.
different. You know what I'm saying? So I
Right.
think this area doesn't necessarily need a cap. It just needs something else to spread the talent around. Um, Let me see. Oh, somebody he wants to address. He said everyone who is talking about the fee speak facts about the fee. Joan, bad intentions. My understanding pays for a lot of bowling for each player. Well, I mean that's kind of a double edged sword, because if you're paying 125 a month, tour stops is 50 a month. I done paid for 2.5 stops. So I mean that's kind of a double edged sword. It's not like bad intentions is paying this fee out of their own pocket. Like no, the bowlers are putting up that money. Um, that so I
Oh my gosh, Terry. Okay, so
hold on, I'm going down the dang boy, y'all killing these comments. He said watching more. Right? Yeah, so we can oh yeah, this is not a doubt. Yo, he's on fire over here. This is not a doubt. We spoke on that a little bit earlier. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of conversations between teams. A lot of things don't get said. A lot of things, trust me, I hear all rumors. I know where they come from. I a lot of the rumors are just, I mean, a lot of the, like you said, backdoor conversations. A lot of that is just is it it doesn't move, because sometimes, a lot of the time, well, sometimes, and I see in these teams where you have those backdoor conversations, a lot of people don't realize that it's a detriment to your own self. I hear them
um,
and they come to me, but I be like, in the back of my mind, I really be like, what makes you think I want to pick that problem up? Like, if you having a problem, like, because some of these problems that a lot of these backdoor conversations be having don't even be problems. And I think somebody said it earlier too. It definitely always be two sides to the story. Um, somebody said you don't drill their equipment. Now Jones said, I tell my bowlers all the time, don't like how I do things, ask me for your release and go to another team or start your own team, and then you have your team customize. I mean, criticize you. Here's my thing. If you want to leave, you know how to release yourself. I'm no longer releasing bowlers, and the reason why is because if you want to leave that bad, wait the 3 months. You, I'm like the
That's who that is.
I'm like
Mm.
I, but here's why I say that is I'm trying to give y'all an example. There's certain bowlers, unless I know you're going to a situation that will better you, I love my team that much that I will be that disgruntled person and be like, no, you're not leaving me. Like, if you want to leave that bad, because for you not to do the necessary things you need to do, you, release yourself. Show me you want to leave that bad because I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't give a damn how long the wait is. I'm not staying in a situation that ain't for me. I don't need to ask like that. That's my thing. Um, I like this. I agree with you here, D Mac. I like this. I do. I hate our division for the simple fact that we all bowl league together. We all
I
see
think
each
it'd be
other.
different if we
Huh?
don't bowl league.
Hmm? Say that again.
I think it. I'm sorry, I was reading a message, but I think it'd be different if we all didn't bowl league with each other and
Yeah.
see each other every day
Yep.
and then have to bowl in the same tournaments with each other.
Yep.
I think it'd be way different,
Yep.
honestly.
It definitely will be different because it wouldn't be a lot of inside traders. When I first joined the UBA, I'm gonna be honest with you. If the UBA would have been a division like this when I first joined and became a team owner, I would have never became a team owner. I would have joined somebody's team, or tried to. Because if you
Hmm.
tell me I got 10 options, and we're staying here, but when you have a division where you travel and you see other people and you go to their home house and you beat them in their house, it's something. It's something. Woo! That's like
Yeah.
hitting a half court buzzer beater shot right there. It's just like that is shooting 750 in a house you never been in before. Like that's yeah. I miss the traveling. That's why I love. That's why I want to make the playoffs so bad. That's why I want to make the playoffs. That's why I'm willing to do almost anything to make the playoffs because I love that atmosphere of you can't beat us. Um, I know Joan says she's been trying to get the bigs for long. Oh, Terry, I'm telling, boy, you supposed to be man. Terry, wow,
I was about to say, don't pay no attention to Terry.
Terry lying. He just went in there because she needed all the groceries on the top shelf. He had to put them up.
That's funny.
Um, that's a fact. He said this match got extra juicy. Not really. Um, this is not our fight, Daniel. It's something we talked about as a team. Because yeah, this we are not. I can announce this because this is not our battle. You know, the outsiders be in a lot of mess sometimes. This is not our fight. This is not our battle. Um, we have some great females on the team. Hey Joan, can I announce it yet? What we've been talking about in Messenger? I don't know if Tynell is still up here, but can I announce it? Um, I don't know if I can announce. We have something big coming up. Not well. I wouldn't call it, but yeah, we got something coming up. Um, with the ladies now, Michaela. Let me ask you this: as a as a beautiful young lady that you are, I see a lot of posts and a lot of the talks be with men who probably aren't used to being around beautiful ladies like yourself
Hmm.
and others. Um, what is some of the things that you wish, or that maybe not necessarily you or you've heard stories of? What are some of the things that you wish people would stop doing because of you know you being a woman in a fairly male dominated sport?
Um, as far as like, as far as what?
Um, just far as the atmosphere, because of course, every time you walk into the bowling alley, you're in all of our minds, we're walking into a safe place. So whether it be far as the competition level or just some of the conversations, what do you wish some things would change?
I wish honestly, to be honest, the only thing that I could say that I wish would change, is the disrespect.
Mm.
There's a
Elaborate,
lot of
please.
men within the bowling community that I've seen talk to women any type of way. Even when there's a man talking to a woman any type of way, there's other men watching. So I think it needs to be to a point where, at the end of the day, if you're gonna buck up to somebody, buck up to the same gender. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Just stop talking to these women any type of way.
So when you say bucking up, so you mean like pumping they like I don't want to say
Mm-hmm.
fight, but like you like acting like they about to fight.
Mm-hmm.
That is interesting. That is not nothing much I've seen. Well, I've heard of an incident in Lilburn happening a couple of weeks ago where they saw that. So are you saying that if you and I heard some people stepped up to de-escalated it? Did I
I
just
mean,
create a
even the
word?
way a lot of men, no, you didn't create a word, but a lot of the way a lot of men talk to women that I've noticed, a lot of it is just blatantly disrespectful. Like I don't know if everybody was raised differently. Everybody comes from everywhere. Everybody does things differently, but um I think that's something that needs to change across the board, not just here in Georgia, not in the deep South, not in bowling, but
Right, just
period.
in
Mhm.
I can definitely agree. Now, do you think now have you seen it where it doesn't what's the word? I guess what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't not word, but it do you think it is a kind of one-sided thing or is it a I'm not
One-sided
a
as
one-sided,
far
I'm sorry.
as
Do you think it's a something that is seen and not heard, or is it something that when it happens nobody is saying anything?
I think it's both, honestly, because it's been even when I went down to where did I go? I went up north somewhere
It's your story.
and this man, he was like all in the lady face, yelling and stuff like that. And it went on for a minute before somebody decided to step in. And I'm like, at the end of the day, you should never feel comfortable even acting that way towards her. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Definitely agree. I I'm trying to find Daniel's Mac comment so I can reply. But I I definitely understand and I totally agree with you. Do you think, like you said, as two people from now, is gotta be honest with you. Is it something that is it something that both parties need to understand? Because I'm just
For
playing devil's
sure.
advocate, huh?
For sure. Because I think just as I feel strongly men shouldn't step to women, women shouldn't step to men because then that's when women decide they want to start playing the victim and wholeheartedly. And I feel like if you step to a man and you get treated like a man, you can't be mad at that. I hate to be I hate to be the person to say it, but you can't do that. Equal rights, equal fights. Honestly.
hmm I'm just responding to DMAC, nothing bad. But so, what about competition wise? What would you like to see more added with the women bowlers?
Um, Honestly, I would like to see more competitive bowlers. I mean, because you have your select like 10 that are very competitive within the South. You travel to North Carolina, South Carolina, up north, you have a lot more competitive women that are within the sport. So I definitely would love to see more competitive women.
Now, of course, I am throwing a women's tournament. What what is do you think is the disconnect where women don't is it do you think it's a thing where women don't want to compete, or is it do you think it's just not enough stuff for y'all to bowl?
Um, like women exclusive tournaments.
Yeah.
I don't I don't think there is, but then again, I don't know, honestly, because the only women tournaments that I've seen are like the states and the all of the big tournaments.
Hmm.
I don't know of any of the smaller tournaments, the local tournaments. Even when you go to like these sports shot tournaments, it's predominantly men. You probably have two women there. You go to these scratch tournaments, you probably have two, three women there. So I don't I don't know, honestly. I know I have the competitive nature because I want to get better and I want to match up with the 230, the 240 average bowlers. But I think it could be some more women exclusive tournaments.
Uh now so do you what I'm trying to catch up with these comments too. But oh, Sam is waiting to do the predictions. But I agree. I think a lot of women bowlers. Do you think it's a confidence issue?
It could be. I think so. It could be. That could play a part, honestly.
Yeah, because Tarika, excuse me, Terica said dudes be in there wilding.
Mm-mm. You acting like they ain't got no sense.
I definitely understand that. Okay, so let's go ahead because this I didn't realize the time. Um, Daniel Max said he had a drunk lady step to his face, but he let it slide. Oh snap! Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It's somebody said that's why you freeze water balloons. I understand now.
So you could do the tour stop predictions. I could tell you, I haven't been keeping up with UVA. I haven't been keeping up with scores. I haven't been keeping up with bowlers. I haven't been keeping up to with the rest of the stuff. I know the game is on, so I'm gonna go watch the game and make me some food.
Oh yeah.
Um, I definitely appreciate you for having me on this.
Oh yeah, like I said, anybody who wants to say they piece and keep it respectful, this is a platform. Yeah, I can. Benita said the South is not gonna have, and I really, and that's the thing that bothers me with, and I'm gonna say it with women bowlers because I hear it a lot. I hear, oh, the men, the women, the women, but I'm like, I don't. I hate to say it. I'm forced to, but I don't see gender with bowling because there are some amazing women out there, as in like Vanina herself. Vanina is an amazing bowler.
mhm,
And Vanina and other women bowlers like yourself, like China. In my mind, I just see them putting in work to get to where they are. I don't
mhm,
necessarily see bowling as because let me also say this: one of the best bowlers to me in the South is a female, and that's Tanika, Miss Fleming.
mhm.
Like she is probably one of the best bowlers, man or female, in the South. Oh, snap. And I just don't get why a lot of women look at men and be like, "Oh, I can't beat him because he's a man." I look at people like Cassandra Lewis. That's another one that I forgot to mention earlier. I'm sorry, mic stand started falling. Um, that's another one. She is one that puts a lot of work into her game. So I don't get why a lot of these conversations. Oh my gosh, I'll fix it later. Oh, can't. This thing about to break. 1 second, y'all. I'm sorry.
Are you over there breaking stuff?
This thing got a mind of its own. There. Okay. Here we go. But yeah, I think a lot of the females I think don't give themselves enough credit. Um, but we can go ahead and start with the. But I'll let you go. As I do the predictions, like I said, I thank you for coming on, sharing your truth. If anybody wanted to come on and I think they would definitely whether it be anything. I know a lot of my tournaments I do a women's division, but I think I didn't have a lot of women come. A lot of women just look at you know just look at it as oh, and I get this. I mean, this goes without saying. I know people have other obligations. That goes without saying. But a lot of the women that are in here commenting, I don't look at you as the ones that I'm talking about.
That's what I said to Brittany. I think it's more so the women that are super heavily active within the bowling community, the ones that
Yeah,
travel a lot.
because it's the
I mean, you
same
have the
ones every
women that
time.
bowl, but yeah, you have the women that bowl, and then you have the women that travel that make it their priority to be bowl to bowl.
Yeah, yeah. See, so, and like I said, some of the women, they, yeah, that makes no sense.
So, um, yeah, I'll keep that to myself.
You saw that too,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cause yeah, I know who it is. I mean, it's either Lamont or Kiki, but I'm gonna let you go to the predictions. I will
Yes,
see you. Thank you for having me on this live. I greatly appreciate it. And any other time, you feel like you want my opinion, I'm always here to give it.
I appreciate it. Yeah, pay more attention so you can do the predictions too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. hmm hmm
But
So
but all right. So as y'all can see, we want to thank Michaela for coming on. We appreciate you. You know,
the hand claps is crazy.
so you have a great night.
Good night.
Good night. All right, let's get to these predictions, and then I am getting the fuck off of here. As you can see on the bottom of the screen, that I've been scrolling. This is our upcoming tour stop. Let's see who's our first matchup. It is. What are y'all? Oh, I'm leaving that alone. Top Shelf and Southern Asylum at Southern. So this is gonna be a good one. This is. I was about to say this is both their home house, but I heard somebody flyer got ripped off the wall. But the last time these two faced, Top Shelf took the victory. But um, Southern Asylum. Let me. I don't know. Let me. I gotta pull up. Hold on 1 second. Let me pull up the. I pull up the results of the last tour stop. I mean, not the. Yeah. The last tour stop. Um. Chris, Miss Christie. I was gonna put the lane assignments down here, but I should have asked you. All right, let's see. Who did Southern Asylum play last? Ooh, they had a tough match against Striking Results. So Southern Asylum has been hot. Top Shelf. Top Shelf lost the Critical Role, so they're both coming off big. They both was coming off big wins before, and now coming off big losses this last stop. Um, this is gonna be a tough one, but I yeah, from what I know, because I'm not gonna lie, there's some more stuff going on, and it's not just bad intentions. There's other teams, there's other people leaving. Um, UBA Bowling, UBABowling.com. I mean, I think yeah, UBA Bowling. But there's a lot of teams. Like, don't get it twisted. I know we just had Michaela on the show. I know both of these teams have lost people for a drama, but Bad Intentions is not the only one that got problems going on. Because trust me, like I said, from my sources from these teams, I hear about a lot. So I know both these teams just lost, but I got Southern Asylum. Um, Holler at Alex Xavier. Alex probably um, but to get on a team, somebody pretty much will come up to you. Um, but talk to Bad Intentions. Talk to Lamont. Um, those are teams that I know that don't have heavy rosters. That's why I'm saying those two teams. They don't have a lot of people on the team, so not to say that it'll be easier to get on a team, but those are some of the teams that don't have heavy rosters. But I got Southern Asylum over Top Shelf. I think Top Shelf. I mean, Southern Asylum is they're a different team than the last couple of years, and they're looking like um they're looking like they're on a they're trying to make the playoffs. They're on one. The second one was it Critical Role versus the Ones? No, it was the Ones versus. Hold up, it's coming up. Who does the Ones play? Is it? No, they play Striking Results. Striking Results, and the Ones. We ain't even gonna stay long on this. Striking Results. Yeah, that's the All Stars over the Ones. We ain't even gonna stay on that. We got Bad Intentions. Well, I don't do my own team. We got. I will say this. Because Daniel Mack made a comment. And I've also already talked to the girls. No, we are not putting Sierra and D'Lo in because we have you have to pay respect for the ones that have been here. And that wouldn't be fair for the other ladies that have been down. So definitely look. Hopefully, they stick around and we can bowl them. I will, I'll been, Sierra do look good in black and blue. We seen her in black. We just got to add a little blue, and but yeah, it just wouldn't be fair to the other ladies. And like I said, this isn't our fight. This is not something we're looking to insert ourselves with, because this has nothing to do with us. But we had Full Throttle. Um, we got full. I'm sorry. I'm laughing at the chat. Um, we got Full Throttle versus DSL. At Southern, I got to go with DSL on this one. Full Throttle is a great team. They're definitely up and coming, but I got Full Throttle. I mean, I'm sorry, I got DSL. DSL is on a fucking rampage right now. Please, Joan, if you can stop them. I'm begging you to stop them. Who do I want to win? Full Throttle. Cool them motherfuckers off, but I got DSL over Full Throttle. DSL is on a fucking rampage right now. Southern Listics versus Critical Role. Critical Role is another one. They are on a fucking rampage right now, and I'm trying to see who do DSL and Critical Role. Do y'all clash again before the season ends, or did y'all already bowl? Let me get the schedule real quick. Um, yeah, yeah, Miss Jones. I want y'all to beat them. Don't get me too. Don't get it twisted. Uh, um, nope. Critical Role play striking results and dealt. That is gonna be a good one. I talked about that last show, but yeah, they look like they already played. Critical Role already played DSL. Where did y'all play them at? Oh, y'all played them first stop, Forest Park. That's right. But yeah, the Critical Role and DSL has been on a rampage lately. So I got Critical Role. Who do I got as still the best DM? I don't care nobody say Christy Lee. You got my vote. DM of the year. Um, that's right. But yeah, Critical Role is I think Critical Role is on that run that DSL had last year when the end of the season was coming around and it's time for that playoff push. Like, all right, guys, here we go. Let's get it. This nigga says, "Show yourself." What are y'all talking about in this chat? But yeah, DSL. Yeah, Critical Role is yeah. They're Critical Role and DSL. They're DSL especially right now is they're on a rampage, and Critical Role is probably the hottest two teams in our division right now. So this stop is going to be a good one because it's going into the last scheduled stop, which is going to be no. I'm sorry, we got two more after this scheduled stops before position rounds. So it is definitely going to be interesting. But I have to go. I need to. I was not supposed to be on here this long. I want to thank my special guest, MK Michaela. Um, and if you learned anything from this show tonight, WCS cap belt match is happening in the bowling factory after the stop as well. Yeah, I got me and KC is battling um um DSL. I mean, I'm sorry. We have a belt match at Little Burn. Shit. Fuck. Tired, y'all. I'm tired. It's a lot. I need a Sierra. I need a Sierra. I'm not gonna lie. I need a Sierra in my life. All right. Somebody just gave me some information on the big three. If you're interested in the big three, um, if you're interested in the big three, you can message Thomas Montelli because I think they are starting the big three in North Carolina, and I am Xavier. I ain't gonna lie to you; they kind of talk to you. That's kind of how it works. You can ask other teams, uh, but they kind of come to you. You um First of all, don't you already got a driver? Don't y'all in like cute little shirts for Valentine's Day? But that's I'm off there. My bad, Sump. I'm sorry, Sump. That was what that was uncalled for, sir. I apologize. I apologize, sir. I apologize. And but I will say this, Darren, we definitely gonna need it Because Darnell Logan been bowling his ass off lately. I think he shot 290. He might have shot an auto score last night the way he was bowling. And we got Joe Ennis. And I've been bowling like pure dog shit. But got a lot going on. But yeah, we definitely need it because we got Joe Ennis and Darnell. And me and KC. KC has been bowling great. Now me on the other hand, yeah. But he said it's a WC match in the bowling center. Put who's bowling? Who was that? Ken, I think it was. Was that Ken? No, Matt. Hey Matt, put who's bowling. So it's a WC match in the bowling factory after the tour stop. Oh, I'm sorry, he did put. He said between two full throttle squads. That is dope. That is dope. That is going to be very, very interesting. Oh wow. He said release me now. My bad. Hey, sorry, my fault. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have. I be feeling me. Took my shirt off earlier, dropped my chain, didn't even realize. Uh, wear this chain a lot. A lot of y'all see me with this. I normally don't wear jewelry, but my mom and my grandmother gave me this before I went into the military. So I don't really go nowhere without it. I don't really like jewelry like that. I damn sure don't like necklaces, but it reminds me of my grandma and that time right before I went into the military. So, but but it's between Michael Johnson. Oh, Joan. So is it a title? It's a title shot, right? Between man, it's a lot of M's in this match. Joan, you might have to change your name to Mary for this match. Michael, Matthew, Michael. Um. Oh, and the belt is on the line. Oh yeah, I might. Yeah, yeah. This gonna be good. Ooh, to lose the belts to your teammates got to be special. I'd rather lose it to my teammates than another team. That's dope. That is dope. But yeah, I'm just reviewing the comments. But yeah, that's. I think one day we need to really sit and talk about that. I would love to see something else in this area, like the big league. I think the big league is probably going to be the best because if I'm not understanding, if I'm not understanding, if I'm understanding correctly, the big league is only during the summer. It's only a summer league, but I think they bowl on Fridays or something like that. But either way, we definitely need something out here to kind of shake things up because the UBA is getting saturated. If you like, the more teams you add, the worse it's going to get, and then you're going to get into like a lot of these 12 team districts. Now, I think what would be interesting if okay, here's what I like, and I think this would be good. Bring the traveling back. Put half of Atlanta with half of South Carolina with Palmetto. Put the other half with Midland. I think is the name of the district, and put them in the district, or keep us in the same division, but make it in the conference. So do half the division and half in a conference, and do it that way. And then when the position round comes, your position round will be against your own division. I think that will be a little bit more competitive. It'll be a little bit more fun. It'll be a little bit, more. Um, I I don't want to say up to chance, but hey, you can you'll have some interesting seasons. But we got to figure out a way to not make this area saturated because it's getting there. There's just simply not enough talent to go around because everyone's taking. Um, yeah, yeah, I see. Yeah, you're right, EK. Because you're not really not traveling that far. But I think I don't know something needs to. I once again like I don't want to see. I love you guys, but I just hate our division because we see each other every league tournament and tour stops. And for some owners, it is with it being like that. Yeah, they do cross divisions. I know that, but we need to be involved in that. But I think for some of us who are like officers and owners, we can't escape the UBA. It'd be funny because I know, Jamel doesn't, he doesn't mean no harm, but Jamel, like, he'll see us bowling in league, but oh, outsiders versus outside. Like, no, nigga, this is Martrell versus EK's. We are individuals right now. Like, yes, we're outsiders, but or we'll be bowling. Vanina's team. We'd be like, oh, outsiders versus Critical Role. He'd be like, no, dog, this is us versus them. Like, let's leave the UBA. Like, yeah, we'll still trash talk. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like, yo, let us be us. Like I like don't get me wrong. Like I love the outsiders, but sometimes I just want to escape the UBA and just be Martrell the bowler and not looked at as an outsider UBA bowler, you know. But that's the only thing. But don't get me wrong, I love the growth of it. I just think some things need to change to keep it competitive. That's my thing. That's why I like the UB. I like the competition. That's why I'm in certain leagues. I love the competition. I love to be challenged, and stuff. Yeah, I drive anyway. You're right. I live in goddamn Winder. Shouldn't have said that, but yeah. Or let's even like start our own shit. Like Florida started their own shit. Like, we got enough where we can start something there in Georgia, make up some stuff. Like we got enough creative people, and that's like been my thing, even with like talking about um even talking about um lost my train of thought, sorry. Even though talking about um the competition, I love the challenge. And if we got enough creative people, and that's one thing I was talking about with the USBC with trying to become president, is putting the power in the people's hand. We have people who are supervisors at their job, that are leaders at their job, that are business owners, that started their business from scratch. I know all of us could come together and figure out a plan to make this better. Whether it come up with our own thing for Georgia or even just making our chapter at the USBC better. What can we implement that we can take so we can take it to other states so we can form, an alliance so we could come to the the USBC and say, hey, this is what I think we need. This is what I think will work. This is how we can make our sport better. We have enough people in here that are doing great things outside of the bowling alley that I know, like, if we can come up with something to make it better. We can all work together. Like I just don't get why we I don't get why we choose not to. So it definitely makes no sense to me. So, but hopefully we'll get our shit together. We'll figure it out. We realize that we are better together than we are apart. And don't worry, I have not stopped. I still know that I do have part 3 and part 4 of my plans when I become USBC president. Even though I will also say this, going through a lot in life, I definitely want to take a step back from bowling. I think after the season is finished, I am going to bowl summer league. But I think after that, I'm probably only going. You're probably not going to see me as much. I'll probably be on here. I'll probably be in the area. I'll probably be in the atmosphere. But you're probably not going to see me in the bowling alley as much as you do now. For the simple fact of um, I've been going through a lot outside of bowling. I do have another mental health. I'm really trying to get Jabari on the show. I've been trying for a while. Hopefully, I can get him broken down so he can come on the show. I definitely want to do another mental health show and bring some of the brothers. Like I always say, if y'all want to come on the show and you just talk and you just shoot the shit, hit me up. Um, and just let me know. And y'all know I'm big on mental health, but like I was saying, I am not going to be present in the bowling alley except to practice as much as I am have been. I definitely need to take some time for myself to get my head right. I am still in a grieving process of a lot of things, both living and gone. So I definitely have to get my mental back on track. Um, I be having, I know y'all don't see it, and I hide it a lot, but I be having a lot of breakdowns in weird places. For example, today, I was in Sprouts, and I don't know why, but certain thoughts just started coming, thinking about family, my brother, and I just broke down in the middle of the damn snack aisle. Trying to was about to grab some graham crackers and had to grab some tissue because I had a whole breakdown in the middle of the aisle. And I'm sharing because I'm not embarrassed. This is just life. When you lose people, sometimes you just never get over it. You never learn how to you you know life goes on and it continues to go on, and sometimes we have questions that we don't understand. And I understand you religious folks. I know what you're saying. Like it, it's not that I don't believe it, but you just get tired of the same cliches. Like you get to a point where you want answers that are not being that you have questions. I'm sorry, that are not being answered. Um, and it's tough. It's extremely tough. So definitely going, but I am still, like I said, I'm going to be around. I'm just not going to be around as much as I was. Definitely going to be looking at a lot of um, things to do outside of the bowling community. And if I'm being totally honest, one of the main reasons why I need to take a break, especially from bowling, is because it is very negative. And the negativity in the bowling alley is very contagious. And it is hard to function and deal with life, and then you go into what you think is your safe place, and you're still not feeling safe, because you're walking on eggshells, and every time somebody comes up to you, you're cringing because you don't know what they're going to say. And a lot of people in the bowling community have, I don't want to say faults, but they have a lot of complaining and not enough doing something about it. I say this all the time. I give my opinions up here. Everything I say about the sport or trying to is not a fact. I'm just giving an opinion to start a conversation to implement some type of change. We cannot keep going around with the "oh, we've been doing this" mentality, because it's not working. You have people fighting for no reasons, that just because they disagree with something, but they don't have the control. They feel like they don't have the control to change it, and that's not true. We are the people who are in control of this sport. If we strike and say, "Hey, we're not doing nothing, we're not paying no sanctions fees," what is you think going to happen to the USBC? Because best believe something is coming to combat the USBC. There's heavy rumors that the PBA wants to start their own sanction and get rid of the USBC. So that is something that is there is stuff out here that is being done. That's why I say if I'm when I become the USBC president, my initial plan is to give the power to the people so we can decide together what we're going to do with the sport that we love. How can we fix it? How can we make our city tournaments better? How can we get the attendance up? How can we get more money raised so we can put more in the prize fund? How can we understand what our sanction dues are going to? You know, how can we get better website? How can we find our sanction numbers faster and better? So it's a lot into this community that I would love for us to come together to make that change. But in closing, we did talk about the females. Um, I have a tournament coming up that is in when is it? Oh, April 26th. In a couple of weeks. So for all my women, I reached out to a couple of you to make sure that you was continue to get signed up. And I'm going to be reaching out to some of you who have not gotten signed up yet because I need you there. Um I need the women there. What the world? Why did that happen? Hold on one second, y'all. But yeah, I need the women there. I need y'all to show up. I need I need it. I love y'all. I'm putting something together for y'all. I'm waiting on Joan. I'm trying to see Joan. Are we allowed to talk about it yet? What that what we been talking with Tynell about? I know I had asked Joan earlier. I don't know if she was on when I had asked, and I don't think Tynell is still on. But yeah, we have a women's tournament coming up in Columbia. I think it's the same day as that title shot. That Sierra and D'Lo have. We did find them a sub. I appreciate that, Miss Venus. I definitely hear you. Probably both, Darren. I'm going to try to improve everything. Um, oh yeah, I heard. Oh, so Ray said Mr. Peppers is going to be here. Oh shit. Hold on. What the heck? Yeah, I was talking about. What happened? Oh, okay. Nothing. Ooh, man. But oh, she said, yeah, okay. So a lot of people knew that the Conyers stop. We did the Outsiders versus Full Throttle Ladies 909. We are going to do a rematch at Lilburn after the tour stop at Forest Park. Um, let me. When is that tour stop? That tour stop is May 18th. May 18th after the tour stop. No, I'm sorry. It's before the tour stop. May 17th. Yeah, May 17th. I'm sorry. It's before the tour stop. May 17th, the Outsiders versus Full Throttle in a rematch with the Ladies versus Ladies 919 tournament style. Tour stop style, excuse me. Please, 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 if you can show up, UBA is recording. They are bringing the cameras. So please, please, please show up May 17th, Lilburn, Full Throttle versus the Outsiders, 909 women. And that's what prompted me and Gustavo and Bogart to put this together, this women's tournament. Miss Joan, I didn't see your name on my list. This is a tournament for y'all. It's a handicap tournament. South Carolina, North Carolina, up north, Virginia, all the Vixens, calling all Vixens, Texas, Florida, everyone, every female. Come on down. Get your bowl on. Let's go, females. I know, hey, don't nobody believe in y'all more than me. I'm telling you. Let's go, ladies. So, y'all have a good night. I'm out of here.
Awesome.
Oops, I thought I was ending it. It was supposed to fade to black, but I guess it didn't happen. But love y'all. Y'all have a good one. I'm out of here.